Stay in Love TV is your production to distribution solution to getting your message seen and heard. Having your own TV show with Stay in Love TV has never been easier than now. Stay in Love TV gives you the power to share your message with the world. Stop watching TV and start being watched on TV. Stay in Love TV offers real-time multicasting, all with one click. This opportunity puts you on the world stage with an audience of over 200 million. In addition to your monthly network coaching and training from the network itself, to ensure that before your first show premieres, you are set up for success. We at Stay in Love TV bring over 20 years experience in sales, marketing, advertising, and business development. Stay in Love TV, purposeful entertainment driven by love, empowered with passion, fueled with faith. Go to www.stayinlovetv.com and let's get started. No longer will you be stung by outrageous nail prices. Contact Latina Queen Bee herself. Servicing the Tampa Bay, she even travels. 813-414-1405. That's 813-414-1405. Queen Bee Nail Hive. Come be pollinated. This week's episode is sponsored by Dollhouse of Tampa Salon and Studio, where the inner doll is created. Styling services they offer are sew-ins, quick weaves, relaxers, facial waxing, eyelash extensions, and much, much more. It's time for you to find your inner doll. Contact Selena today at 813-802-6155, servicing the Tampa Bay and surrounding areas of Florida. And make sure you follow them on Instagram and Facebook. The Ride Along with Vanessa Morning Show streams Fridays, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Stay in Love TV. Get your copy of Mental Equation, available on Amazon and on Stay in Love TV, today's Michelleology.
7.
Welcome. You have just entered today's Michelleology. I'm Michelle. I'm your spiritual evolutionist and your motivator.
7.
In today's Michelleology, we provide you with insight that's needed to take a deeper look into your consciousness and provide tools that will open up the doors to your higher self. Get ready for a now awakening. Remember, once you go in, you'll never be without. Namaste. About to the divine presence in you. In today's Michelleology, I'm Michelle. I'm your motivator. I'm your spiritual evolutionist. Welcome into this moment on Stay in Love TV network. I am so pleased that you have joined us today. We have so much to cover. There's so much going on in the universe that we must be mentally in tune with our Christ-mindedness so that we can allow ourselves to go to the greatest version of ourselves. So today we have a treat for you. Listen, I wrote a book and it came out last year. It's called Me, and Me is an acronym for Mental Equation. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to share some excerpts from my book. You can purchase this by contacting me at moretherock@hotmail.com or send me the money for $17. Then $2 is for the shipping and handling. The book actually costs $15, or you can purchase it on Amazon. But today, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some excerpts from it. I really like to call it writings. It's not really a normal book. It doesn't have any chapters. And it's just a conversation between God and I that I allowed you to eavesdrop on. So in 2020, when I was diagnosed with COVID, after that, God just said to me, go ahead and just write. And so what I did was I wrote without thinking about it. And then I put it into this combination. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through and begin to go over some of the things that that I think are pretty important. The whole content of this is good, but there's some things that I really want to cover today. So what we're going to do is we're going to just read some excerpts, and I am going to kind of expound on some of those things. So the wording of this came to me because we are going through a lot of mental things on the outside, but there's greater things that of the Christ-mindedness that's going in on the inside. And sometimes we try to take outside information into a permanent space in the heart that's only meant for God. And we're not going to be able to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the beginning of it. When we began this early journey, or this earthly journey, we were told who we were and how we were supposed to govern ourselves in this world. We were conditioned to play a role based on his story or her story, but distracted from writing our own story. We have been mentally conditioned, instructed, taught, traditionalized, and trained to keep us from remembering our original state of being. Now, when I talk about the original state of being, I'm saying before we were in the womb, God knew us. He was intimate with us. We were into God and God was into us. And so once we were there, we were equipped with everything that we needed to take this journey. But once we enter into the womb, which is converted to the matrix, to be conditioned by an outside force that caused us or wanted to cause us to forget that we forgot who we were. So it says we became the greatest puppets ever designed by a human. We pattern our life, our ways, our thoughts, and our days based on governmental. I always say government governs your mental. Mental equation, and it was engraved in our mind as being not less Christ-mindedness, and they converted it to what they labeled as normal. It was never normal until we accepted it as that. Because we are creators and because we operate in our personality, which is our personal reality, whatever we believe that is real, we create it in our minds, and then it is manifested in the body. It says it was engraved in our mind as being normal. It was never normal until we accepted it as that. When we perceive ourselves as something, then we become the very thing that has been presented to us. Our creative force within agrees and begins to manifest it. Touching and agreeing. Whatever you agree to, God says yes. Okay? This is how we were conditioned in our head mind. And this is where I begin to talk about you have a head mind and a heart mind. And so your heart mind is full of faith, is where God speaks to you, it's full of truth, and there is peace there. But in your head mind, there is 60,000 to 70,000 thoughts that are going on in your head that are relaying to you fear, doubt, selfishness, resentment, confusion, and it's causing you to be distracted and derailed from your heart mind, which is going to give you the truth. It says our creative force within agrees, begins to manifest. This is how we were conditioned in our head mind with what we should do and how we should look in order to fit into the Maya. What is the Maya? Maya is the illusions and the three-dimensional being humans introduced to us as if it was our true reality. So we were introduced to the Maya. It's an illusion. It's a simulation. But they conditioned our mind so to the point that we thought what they had taught us was what we really were. And they called it normal. But it was never normal, because if you're going to address normal, excuse me, it's your spiritual being, your God being. That is what you were created here for. It says, Maya is a representation of the tree of the knowledge. It's getting good. Okay. Which brings to us division, illusion, death within our mental and physical states. The three-dimensional version of mankind is based on control, duplication, and slavery. Look at here. That tree of the knowledge of good and evil has brought us to, let me repeat it again, division, illusion, and death within our mentality in our head and with our physicality on the outside of us. The three-dimensional version of mankind is based on slavery. It's nothing to do with color. Listen, color is illusional. And I don't want to offend anybody, but if I offend you, maybe there's some truth in it. Because if there ain't no truth in it, then you're not offended. But we're making this more about color than we are making it about content. So it was never so much about color, but they conditioned us to think it was about color. So that caused division, control, duplication, slavery. Okay, so it has nothing to do with color, but everything to do with controlling the content of our character. What does to control us by the content of our character, by putting a diversion out as if it was color. Come on, let's read this. Listen, I wrote this with the Holy Spirit, but I am getting empowered just by reading it again. The tree of the knowledge of good and evil is a separation of our true being. But the tree of life is what we must follow and what we were created to be. We are the tree of life. Now, on the front of the page, if you open up the book, this is a drawing of the tree of life. As you can see, it's like the tree at the top. There's the cross. You have the chakra colors in there. You have the flesh in there. The body itself, and this is the tree of life, but it's a combination of multiple things. Like you have the chakras that are behind me. Those are energy points that are inside of you. These are the top 7, but they are much more than that. But once you line these up, the tree of life lines up, your mentality lines up to Christ's mindedness, and you begin to operate in the highest version of yourself, life. Okay? It says we were tricked, trained, tripped up into becoming a clone. What is a clone? A clone is when humans take a God-created body and try to manipulate us into a duplicated copy. What? They take an original. They took the original, the greatest part of us, and tried to duplicate it as a simulation, which is not, the copy is never as great as the original. Even if you make copies on a copy machine, it is not exactly. There will always be a dot or something that's different that's on the original. Okay, so we know what a clone is. Their goal was to make us into their very own artificial intelligence. The intelligence on the inside of us is so great that they tried to duplicate something that God created so that they could control power. We're too powerful if we know who we are, if we know that we're the tree of life, if we know that we are more than just good and evil, okay? And so the difference between the real me and the artificial me is that the real me has a heart. See, when they make the artificial intelligence, they can duplicate the heart, because the heart belongs to God. And so if you continue to think from here first instead of here first, there's always going to be confusion. You have to think here first and then line this up with your head and then begin to manifest. So that was their goal. Their goal was to make an artificial intelligence. You cannot make an artificial intelligence. You can make one, but you can't make it real because it doesn't have a heart. Okay, so let's go on. Let's go on. This is getting good in the neighborhood. The heart is the center of our relationship with the Most High God. Their target was to separate us from our Creator. The governing of our mentality stripped from us, as well as our true authenticity. This was designed to make us vulnerable to their control. It has exposed us to physical, mental, and emotional harm. They directed our minds to be hacked by our own will. Let's see. Look, they took our own will and tried to hack us with it. So are sleeping with the enemy, the inner me. They're taking that and governing your mental, your head mind, and it's causing you to be separated from the Most High God. That was their target now. Just because that was their target, that doesn't mean that happened. The governing of our mentality in this world was stripped from us, as well as our true authenticity. This was designed to make us vulnerable to their control. It has exposed us to physical, mental, and emotional harm. I read they directed our minds to be hacked by our own will, by our own state of thoughts, and our own energy. They're using us against us. This is the mental equation. This is me. This is me that they're using for their own glory and for their own purpose, for their own greediness and selfish me. And so if we don't take responsibility for that, if we don't begin to say, wait a minute, I'm awake and I'm aware that you're using me against me. I'm taking responsibility for everything that I am required to do. But if you don't know, you can't grow. And so when you begin to wake up from this sleep, this so-called American dream that they call it, a dream is when it's a series of thoughts, pictures, and visions while you're asleep. How you can talk to somebody in your household that is asleep and they will get the fullness of what you said at that point. You can't do it. Okay, so this mental deception took us on a journey that was illusional, and we thought it was real. What did I say? They created your personality. You create your personality. Your personal reality is what you believe to be true, is what you shine a light on. And as you being a creator, then that's what you create. This mental deception took us on a journey that was an illusion, that was illusional, but it failed with us because of the mind control. So they made it feel real. They made it look real by using television, telling you a vision that will send you into a deception of who you really are. And so once they do that, they have the mind control. Okay, let's read a little further. When we thought we had experienced failure based on the dreams that were encrafted for us in our own minds, it caused us in some form to become totally dependent on outside things, money, sex, drugs, and alcohol. They were only strong suggestions for us to react to, and not a positive soul, SOUL, solution for us to respond to all of our problems. So it was not a positive solution. When you talk about the soul, the word soul comes from the word light or soul, like solar system. It always shown to us as a light. Our souls, when they talk about selling your soul, that only means that you're focusing on your outside instead of your inside. It's not so much what we've entitled it to be. But when you sell, that means you've given up your inside or your in-personality to lesser of who you are, then you sold your soul. So you don't have a solution to your situation. Let's read on. This is good in the neighborhood. The illusion was to make us think that those things were our remedy. And those things I'm talking about are money, sex, drugs, and alcohol. Those are not all of the problems, but those are some of the basics, because each one of those are designed to take your mind off of something or put yourself in an illusional better place, but it's temporary. And as soon as you run out of those things, you have to go and get more to feel what you felt the first time you experienced those things, and you'll never reach that high. That is why people get addicted, because they're always trying to reach that first high that they experienced the first time, but you'll never experience that again. And so that keeps them coming back and back, because they love that first feeling that they felt when they experienced that. And so they keep coming back. Causes people to say that they're addicted to certain things. Now, sex, money, drugs, and alcohol are not the only things. There are food, gossip, just a whole list of things that we could go through that people get addicted to. Trying the illusional thing to help you feel better about the permanent thing. You'll never be able to take a temporary solution, and it's not even a solution. Let's say a temporary thing to satisfy a void that only God can satisfy. Yes. And so once we felt like it was real, and it was defined by them that it was real, but it was the greatest lie that was ever told. Why would someone go this far to distract you from yourself if there wasn't some true worth and value in yourself? Okay. The illusion came to steal, kill, and destroy our minds. Now, if you want to talk about a devil, those things, that illusion is it, to steal, kill, and destroy our minds. The rulers of this world have overtaken billions of people's mind with the desire of power. We didn't talk about power. We said money, sex, drugs, and alcohol, but we didn't talk about power. Some people will do anything for those things. It was only a bait. They only used them as baits, and they switched on us once the forbidden fruit of lies was consumed with our mind. That apple that people talk about in Genesis has nothing to do with what we're talking about. The forbidden fruit is the very thing that has caused us to stray from focusing on what God has truly given us as the truth. We're going to do a couple more things, and we're going to end up this session, but this is just to whet your appetite. You need to get this book. You need to get this. You have to get this, okay? The goal for all of this was separation between all people, because divided we all fall. The deception for us to focus on color of the skin, but it was the color of the law created to separate, divide, and destroy. Now, that is just the first couple of pages of this. As you begin to study this, as you begin to walk through this piece by piece, it will not be in the language that you are used to. It is going to be in a language that the Spirit will allow you to open yourself up to. So as you begin to do that, as you begin to offer up yourself to this, listen, $17 is not much to invest in your life. These are just some tools that I'm offering to you that will assist you in becoming the greatest version of you. So like I said, you can get it on Amazon.com, or you can contact me at the email that's listed on the screen, and I will get it out to you as soon as possible. And then you can let me know if it's been a blessing to you. I already know it's going to be a blessing to you, but you can let me know anyway, which encourages me. So I'm so excited about today's Michelleology. Listen, we are here every week. Do not miss an opportunity to walk on this journey where we're going. We're spiritually involuting from the inside out. Once you go in, you'll never be without. It allows you to see the trueness of who you be. Doesn't sound like good English, but it is. It's not, we're not trying to be anything. We are already there. God is not trying to do something. God just does it. And as we begin to come out of our personal or our personality, our personal reality, walk into, and we're going to talk about personality and in personality. We're going to talk about that probably on our next session, because it is important that once you get that, then you're going to understand exactly how you as a creator have created some of the things that people for, because you are an attraction. You're a magnetic field and you're a creator. And once you combine the magnetic field and the creativity together, you are a powerful, powerful energy that is happening in the universe. And so I encourage you to continue here on Stay in Love TV network. If you're interested in being on this network, if you have something to share, then you will receive that information. Once we finish this broadcast, everything will be available to you. We are just excited about our founder, Vanessa Klinger, and she will be there to assist you, to help you to get your information out there, no matter what it is. If you're not a speaker, if you just have a business, if you need a commercial, whatever it is, to assist you with that. Well, we have come to another session, another opportunity in today's Michelleology. We are looking forward to a continued success on this journey that we're taking. We're in a new heaven and a new earth. Everything has reversed. But if you don't know that, you'll still continue to look for normal. That's why we have to change that mental equation, that me. You have to change me. That's the only power that you have, is changing the inside of you. You cannot change anybody else. And so we're offering this book to you. Again, contact me at the email below, or you can go on Amazon and look for me, Mental Equation by Michelle Rocky Moore Washington, and you will be able to have your own copy. Look, don't just buy one copy, buy one for you and one to share. Well, thank you for joining us. It is indeed a pleasure and a great opportunity to come to you each week and to share what I have with God. Remember, I am not trying to change you. I'm just offering you some tools that will wake you up so that you will receive your own personal revelation to the things that you must have and that you need in order to get you to the greatest version of yourself. Okay? Well, remember, you've been created by the Creator to be creative. So start creating your creations and stop duplicating. Once you go in, you'll never be without. This is Michelle. I'm your motivator. I'm your spiritual innovator. Namaste. I bow to the divine presence in you. Be blessed.
Stay in Love TV is your production to distribution solution to getting your message seen and heard. Having your own TV show with Stay in Love TV has never been easier than now. Stay in Love TV gives you the power to share your message with the world. Stop watching TV and start being watched on TV. Stay in Love TV offers real-time multicasting, all with one click. This opportunity puts you on the world stage with an audience of over 200 million. In addition to your low monthly subscription fees, you will also receive monthly network coaching and training from the network itself to ensure that before your first show premieres, you are set up for success. We at Stay in Love TV bring over 20 years experience in sales, marketing, advertising, and business development. Stay in Love TV, purposeful entertainment driven by love, empowered with passion, fueled with faith. Go to www.stayinlovetv.com and let's get started.